Circuit.
Welcome to the Unicorn Circuit, your weekly dose of car news,
Is that even legal?
mycrapcar,
Tinfoil cat hat,
Fank of the week,
mytown.
mailbag.
Oh shit.
Hello, welcome to the news of the Unicorn Circuit. If you were wondering what was just going on in that intro there, they were our VIP winners. They came up to Sydney from Melbourne. They won a day in the Majesta and ended up, during a weird kind of CrossFit afternoon, winning a couple of days in the Copen. And they actually left us some chocolates in there and a note that says, Marty and Moog, thank you for the whole experience and for not being assholes. No worries. But being absolute legends, and thanks heaps for lending us the Copen. We thoroughly enjoyed the K-Car experience. We both agreed it was our first and won't be our last. And then they said, if you're ever down their way, go and hang out. Martin, how are you doing? Great. Yes, I agree. In breaking news, there is a brand new episode on the main channel of Mighty Car Mods, which is all about the RAV4, competing in an Outback Gymkhana. It's out right now. It's like a feature-style film, very, very epic. So make sure you go and check it out and see how we go battling against some of the best other teams in the state. Massive show today, lots of news. Of course, we're going to be speaking about the YouTube experience. It's very topical right now. A lot of people talking about Donut, about Hoonigan, about Motor Trend, all sorts of these kind of big channels that you're hearing about. I thought I'd give it my 2 cents, mostly so everybody will stop asking me what my opinion is. What I will say is a number of years ago when Motor Trend put a bunch of their videos behind a paywall, everyone jumped up and down. I wrote an article about that, which is kind of still where I stand now. It's called, Building a Wall, but who's going to pay for it? I'm going to link that down below. And actually, while you're there, at the end of this video, I want you to go and have a look because there's a couple of good articles there as well. Marty has written one called Why is Everyone Quitting Big YouTube Channels? And he's also written about kind of, people's experience with burnout and having to churn through YouTube stuff, and also explains why this puppet is here because he's overseas at the moment. So check that out at the end of the video because there's some good stuff in there. Starting with the news, the car news, you've probably heard now Jeremiah and Zach, who were presenters on Donut, have started their own channel called Big Time. It's looking really good. It's grown exponentially fast. It's a couple of dudes on a driveway working on shitboxes. So that is kind of my sort of flavour. I saw someone describe it as like an American Mighty Car Mods. I don't think it's that. It's just they're doing their own thing and they're very, very good at it. We really enjoyed the time we spent with them when they came out to Australia. We shot some kind of mechanics react stuff with them. I think we did some Unicorn Circuit. We were in one of their videos. They were in one of ours. So we did have a few days together. Really good energy, really lovely blokes. And in fact, we had a similar experience when we were over in America filming the episode with Roadkill. And again, both lovely guys working their asses off. And I think that is something that I see is consistent with a lot of these people that are working for larger companies or corporations. They're just working their asses off constantly, and that can make you tired. Now, I can't speak about each person's individual experience, but I can give some kind of generalizations on what I kind of think is going on, because we obviously have seen what's happened with Hoonigan, and then also seeing what's happening with Car Throttle, with hosts leaving. Sometimes they're kind of staying because maybe their contracts are continuing or maybe they're not. The YouTube community about cars is fairly small, and by small, most people know everybody else that's going on. People are doing collaborations and things like that. But eventually, if you are a person that started a business, a lot of people's goal is to try and sell a business and make some money, and there's nothing wrong with that at all. And I think what's probably more important than going, rah, 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 big companies are really bad, is actually looking at kind of how the systems work in the first place. And what happens is when companies are trying to make money, particularly if they're financial companies, they need to kind of personify their brands a bit. If you look at banking ads and things like that, they're not usually full of computers and data and text and stuff like that. They've got people and families, and they're smiling and they're laughing because they want to try and say, hey, we're more than just this product. And I think the trap that people can fall into is that when you work for a larger company, and I'll speak for myself because before we started Mighty Car Mods, I was an employee at a media company, and it was great in that there was regular wages, a place to go every day, other people to work with, you get your sick pay, your holiday pay, all of that stuff, and I had a really good experience doing that until I left. Small company, maybe 10 or 15 people, it wasn't one of these massive ones, but I think what can happen, and the difference is when you're on screen, you become the face of that company. And in a sense, if you're an employee, and this sounds savage to say it, but if you are an employee and someone's not listening to your ideas, in a way, you're just a waiter of content. You're like the person at the front of the fast food restaurant, greeting everyone, smiling and saying hello. But if you're not directing them to your own freshly cooked cookies out the back and just directing them to fast food stuff, sometimes there's a disconnect between what you really feel you should be doing and what you shouldn't be doing. And I know that speaking to some people, they kind of feel like their ideas weren't heard. And I chatted with a bunch of people that had worked in donut like previously when I was over in the States. They weren't super happy with their experience. That doesn't mean that the experience isn't great for everybody. But I think what can happen is when you become the face of a brand, but you're an employee, that can be quite tricky. And I'll give you an example of that. I've got a friend who's an actor, and she's on a lot of TV commercials in Australia, and one of them is for an insurance product, and she gets a lot of people, if they recognise her in the street, asking her about their claim, like, how's my claim going? And she's like, I'm an actor, like, I don't know. And they're like, but it's your face on all the things, so could you like put in a good word or something? And she's just like, I am not the company and myself are separate. And so I think, though, that the audience sometimes doesn't understand that they think it's kind of the same, but it is separate. When we started Mighty Car Mods, we were obviously doing it in the dark ages of YouTube. It was 16 years ago. It was a very, very different environment back then. The word influencer didn't exist. There was no sponsorships. There was no monetization. So it certainly wasn't set up like a business. It really was just a platform for fun. And I remember maybe we're a year or so into it, and there was a car wash company, asked if we wanted to use their car wash, and they'd give us $10 or some free car wash, whatever it was. But Marty and I went down, we had some fried rice, we sat down, we went, hey, what do we want to do? And we kind of set a framework, which was, maybe we just shouldn't take money from people if we don't know exactly what it is that they want, or if we don't think that their product is the best at what it is that they do. And we stuck to that, and that has been the way that it has been kind of ever since. And so even with the sponsors that we work with now, Michelin with Castrol, we believe that each of those are the best at what they do in their category. And we also make sure that there's an understanding that we have 100% creative control over everything that we do, because the last thing you want is kind of the overlords of the company telling you what you've got to say and what you've got to do. And that is particularly difficult if you've built the thing up yourself from scratch. There's two owners of Mighty Car Mods, which is me and Marty, and we're the same two people that are on screen. And generally we can make conversations fairly easy by sitting down with some fried rice and going, by the time you finish your meal, you've kind of made your decisions. It was a very similar thing when Top Gear came around. Obviously that would involve me being away for a period of time. And we sat down over some rice, and Marty was very supportive of me doing it. I was really interested in kind of the experience of pushing the boundaries and seeing what I could do in that kind of environment as well, and that was it. So I wish the guys all the best starting their new channel, and no doubt at some point there'll probably be a big-time MCM collaboration. I think that would be really cool, whether here or over in the States. We are planning on coming to the States at some point. But I also want to make a note, and Marty linked to a comment I left about this in one of his blog posts. I think Australia really does punch above its weight when it comes to automotive content. Obviously, you've got, us as Mighty Car Mods is kind of one of the bigger channels, but you've also got Skid Factory, which is now being run by Woody. You've got Motive DVD, which Andrew Hawkins, he's been doing. Before YouTube, he was doing DVDs, heaps of GTR content. In fact, I think some of the best GTR content that there is. You've got Benny's Custom Works, and lots of these little channels. They're big. They're just not donut big. I think they really, really are punching above their weight, and lots of really, really lovely people. And that's not just Australia. You've also got, Hassport, those guys as well from the States. There is lots of amazing content being made. As a side note, I don't really love the idea of consumption and this thing of like we consume media. I understand that is the term that's given, but it really sounds like you got a pipe being stuck in your throat and they're just sending stuff down your throat for you to consume. YouTube, they need to make their money, and different companies, they need to make their money as well. YouTube is a space that everybody can jump on and have their voices heard, have their stories told, all those kinds of things. But clearly there's other companies that want to try and, I don't want to say cash in on that, but there's other companies that want to leverage that and make some money. And every company has its kind of USP, that's its kind of unique selling proposition, like what is it that it does better than everybody else? And sometimes I think the hosts are the key to the voice of what that thing is. And so if you're used to seeing a certain person on screen for years and years and years and they leave, it's probably like your favourite singer leaving your band. Maybe the band can continue, but there's going to be a very different feel about which singer was better, which singer was worse, and it's something that people are going to have to get used to. But change is inevitable, and can companies survive the change? They can. And I think as well, the last thing I want to say about that is that there is sometimes the audience, because the internet loves drama, the audience sometimes reads into stuff way more deeply than what is really going on. And so I know that certainly when it comes to TV, I'll speak very generally about this. When it comes to TV, often the production schedule and the broadcast schedule are not the same. And so what that means is that there might be a number of things in the pipeline. And so when you look at the, Donut made a video on the same day that Big Time video came out and everyone's like, it's changed. But I'm pretty sure that video wasn't created on the same day. It's probably been part of a schedule for quite some time. It was interesting for me seeing comments about like the studio audience of Top Gear going, oh, it's getting better every time, and you can tell the guys are getting to know each other, but all of the studio stuff was filmed back to back over a couple of days. And so even though the viewers were seeing, the show came out over 2 months, and so in their minds, we're together for 2 months, we're actually together for almost 6 months, but all the studio stuff is just shot in a couple of days. And then the way that it's being seen on TV is not necessarily the way that it was shot. And so I'd sometimes see comments about like, oh, the guys are way more comfortable now, but they were being referencing episodes where chronologically that didn't make sense. So, we got to educate ourselves about how the world works and about how comments work and how media works. And I think media literacy is a really important thing. I think it's troublesome to say journalists shouldn't say this, companies shouldn't do this, videos shouldn't do that, creators can't say this. I think in some ways it's better to have a bit of an understanding of how the whole system works. And the system works by getting as much of an audience as you can, and then using that audience to give them your videos and hopefully maintaining the content quality that you would expect, but also then hoping to make some income, whether that's merch or whether it's these investment firms or whatever that is. That is the nature of people starting businesses. On our side, Mighty Car Mods was never for sale. It is not for sale. That wasn't its intention. It was just a space for me and Marty to make cars and mess around, and that's pretty much what it still is. So that's a big chunk of news. That's just a bit of a brain dump on all of that stuff. In other news, the RAV34 GTR is finished. A massive video just came out on Supercheap Auto's YouTube channel and also on TV. We're getting that car ready for their massive TV campaign. Woody's also made a mad ice cream truck on there as well. Al makes an appearance. In fact, lots of people are on there. Grant Denier's on there. You've got Molly Taylor on there. You've got, you know what? Go and have a look. There are so many kind of iconic sports people and car people on there. It's very, very cool. So check that out. And we've got some big stuff coming up and lots of stuff coming out on MCM TV too. More than usual because we've got lots of little products, lots of little projects on the boil and some new products coming for you, merchandise. I can't talk about those yet though. All right, that's all. Oh, Martin's overseas. If you want to see what he's doing, last I saw, he'd uploaded a video to his Instagram of a car that had blown up, overheated stuff everywhere. Down below, I'm going to link Marty's Insta, my Insta, and also the articles that I was talking about. But have a look at the end because we've still got lots of stuff to go in this video. One other thing that I saw, sorry, just to circle back. People sometimes feel so indebted to a brand and an image that they do take that stuff really seriously. We've seen lots of people with Mighty Car Mods tattoos, Chop tattoos, different brands of stuff that people like. I did see a bunch of people saying that, you know, they're going to throw their donut merch in the bin, and other people are making stickers. I think someone sent me something that was like a donut thing, but then they make little stickers that go next to it. I mean, it's a brand. It's a brand. I mean, I guess it proves that people care if they take it that seriously. Do you need to throw your clothes away? I don't know. I guess kind of make your own decision about that and about what it is that you represent. No doubt Big Time will have merch available, and you can grab some of that. It does help creators, particularly the smaller creators that aren't, you know, owned by big companies and stuff, because that money directly goes into helping them fund their videos. But yeah, it's been interesting for me to see how, like, people are going wild. Like, people have just gone, they're losing their minds. It's a YouTube channel. I don't know. Anyway, that's all. Let's get into the next section, which is that even legal? How you doing, Martin? You good? Good. Is that even legal? Every week on Is That Even Legal, we meaning me, I'm by myself right now, I like to explore different laws from around the world just to keep reminding ourselves that people have different ideas, different rules, and they engage with their realities in a multitude of dimensional faculties. You know what I'm saying? Martin, do you like sandcastles? Yes. Martin, do you like Spain? Have you ever been to Spain? I think, yes. Illegal. What? It's actually true. It's illegal to build sandcastles in Spain. You're not allowed to do it. Why aren't you allowed to do it? You know what? I didn't even look. Next up, mycrapcar. mycrapcar is the delightful segment of this show where you send us in your crap cars, and last episode I did a call out and said we want to do a mycrapcar special, which meant lots of you sending videos in. Now, some of you did, but I'm doing one more call out because we're going to do a mega compilation of crap cars. It's going to be the biggest episode of the Unicorn Circuit in history, which is a crap car special. So what I want you to do right now, get your calendar out or your book or wherever you write your notes of what it is that you need to do, your reminders list, and I want you to make a little 2-minute video, cap it around 2 minutes, put your phone that way, old school, I'm the grandpa of YouTube, remember, and then make a little video about your crap car and send it in. We're going to do a crap car special. But today, just to kick things off, we've got a crap car, people. This is a Chrysler 300C wagon with a Hemi V8.
Hello Unicorn Circuit, this is my 2007 Chrysler 300C wagon. In the States they got this called Dodge Magnum, but they had the Dodge front end, not the Chrysler front end, but it is actually a wagon. They're pretty rare in Australia. From what I understand, there's only about 300 or so with this particular engine. This particular one has the 5.7 Hemi V8. It's standard, just an intake, nothing fancy. But they're very rare in Australia, and some of the things that are a bit crap about it, my dipstick is a screw, because it broke off. I tried to lift it out one day. It's done 160 odd thousand kilometers, just shy of that. It's reaching that milestone soon, which is nearly 100,000 miles. You can see there. There's some things that are a bit crap about it. It does weigh 2 tons, which is very heavy, and as such the fuel economy is around 18 litres per 100 kilometres, which is pretty bad, especially driving around Sydney like I need to do for my job. Another thing that's kind of crap about it, the tyre pressure sensors go a bit on the fritz sometimes. The rear left one constantly thinks it's low and constantly has a warning light on the dash, so I can't fix it, don't know what's wrong with it. The other things that are not too great about it, it has a bit of rust. So at the back here, you can see there's a bit of rust developing in the roof. That one hasn't developed a hole, but there's one on this side that has indeed developed a hole. I'm not sure how easy it is to see, but I can stick my finger right in there. So it's a bit crap, but then again, I love it. It's a lot of fun. I can do my other crap car in future if you're interested. Anyway, cheers.
There it is. Thank you very much for sending that in. Now, for those of you watching at home, please get me your videos of your crap car. You can send them into whatever that says. I always forget every single time. Next up, it's time for Tinfoil Hat Cat. We're continuing the theme of YouTube creators, and this week, a YouTube creation conspiracy. There is a conspiracy going around the internet that the reason that everybody is leaving these big automotive YouTube channels to start their own independent channel is because it's not actually their own independent channel at all. That there is a multi-conglomerate financial investment company that is funding everybody, buying them out of their contracts, so they leave their companies, go and start a new one which looks independent, but actually all of them, including Mighty Car Mods, are part of a big company. And I'm here to blow the lid off it. It's true. The company is called YouTube, and we all upload our videos to their website. And when there's some ads on the front of it, we might earn a couple of cents. There you go. Is there some overlord, though, buying everybody? No. I think what's happening is people are just going, I'm getting sick of not having my ideas heard and being told what to do, and then the result's not very good, so I'm just going to go and be independent and go and do it on my own, if that's okay. Thank you. Goodbye. Oh, I still have contractual obligations. I'll hang around for a bit longer. I think that's what's going on. I think. Conspiracy. Who knows? Next up, let's take it downstairs to Fank of the Week. Fanking is the delightful art of taking a photo down near your crotch to recontextualise its name. I don't like doing this show without Martin. It's weird. We've made like 150 episodes, and how are you doing? Oh, I get emo even looking at the puppet. There, he's cute. You know those puppets? The eyes are made of spoons. Plastic spoons, like takeaway spoons. And they were made by a friend of mine who's very, very clever. I'm going to link his thing down below so you can have a look. Anyway, Martin's taken a well-deserved break. I need one too. Maybe he'll be presenting this next time by himself. And that means I'm probably just working on my shitbox. I bought 2 shitboxes while he's been away. This is what happens, right? As soon as one person's away, then all of the shit car energy that the other one has kept a cap on just explodes. And there's just shit boxes everywhere. One of them you'll be seeing soon, the other one you'll be seeing sooner, and the other one that's on its way you'll soon see after those ones. It's going to be great. All right, Fank, what do we got? Manfill. Good job. Lick and run. What's the lick? Oh, shit. Yeah. The lick and run sandwich. That's pretty good. Next up. Oh. Okay. And Fank of the Week, drum roll please, Martin. That's cool. Boom, the tough tug. Now, if you'd like to send us your Fank of the Weeks, please send them to the Fanking Facebook group that's flashing along right here now. And I do believe it's time for mailbag. If you would like to send us in something to the Unicorn Circuit, you can send it to the Unicorn Circuit, PO Box 475, Sydney Markets, New South Wales 2129. We have received all sorts of incredible things that people have made over the years. Lots of craft, lots of cool things. And this week we have Dear Marty and Moog. First off, huge fan of both channels. My favourite episode was the Civic with the PVC pipe roll cage. Thank you very much. I've been buying and modding cars ever since I could drive, and from watching you two in the driveway. As I've gotten older, I've gotten more into car audio, and I've got a YouTube channel where I review and test audio. The channel is called BD Audio. Please find a box of 6.5-inch component speakers, because Moog spent so much money on the VW Up. I thought this would be a nice donation to one of Marty's cars. Maybe I'll get to see them installed on the Gemini. Keep pushing yourselves. Please read after the show. Oh, okay, I'll read that bit after. Thank you very much. Thanks for sending it. I think that's some speaker components. So I believe he also said they're for Marty. So I'm not going to open that because that would be slack. And being that I can't eat it, I have a limited interest of knowing what's inside anyway. There it is. Next up, random meat bag. Probably the coolest bag you're ever going to see is this Nissan March Super Turbo bag that someone made us with the 23 honk plate. And today I will be devouring by myself I have no idea what that is. I don't know. I have no idea what that is, and there's no translation. So it appears to be a monkey's head on a stick. And I will eat one, and I will try and feed one to the Martin puppet as well. Thanks for watching, everybody. You are spoilt for choice when it comes to like videos these days. There is so much stuff going on. You've got all your YouTube stuff happening. You've got all your streaming platforms. The finale episode of Top Gear came out last week on Paramount. Thanks everyone for checking that out. That was a really amazing experience for me to be involved with that. And I got to drive some pretty crappy cars like over in Colombia, but then also R34 GTR, and then there's the supercars, and then there's the Maserati on Mount Vesuvius. It was a really, really great experience. But the point is, there is enough car content for everyone now. So you can find your little area, find the thing that you like. Oh, sorry, mate. And enjoy it. And so I hope you enjoy continuing to surf the wave of car things on the internet. And I've never had a soft lollipop before. It's a soft. What do you think, Martin? Looks like he's smoking from this angle. That's a soft, it's a monkey's head, but it's soft. Thank you for watching. RAV4 videos are out. Lots of stuff happening on MCM TV too. We've got some new merch coming, and we're about to give away something big. And that's happening on this channel. So make sure you keep your eyeballs on here. Hit whatever bells and buttons and stuff you need to. And yeah, check out the articles down below as well. All right. Bye, everyone.